Okay, I was looking at just looking at my minute chart here. Oh yeah, right through there. I got a big zone drawn through my larger time frame minute chart at like call it 731 price, 13,731.
For support.
Yeah, going back
Yeah.
to May 25th, May 26th, May 27th, May 28th, June 1st, pulled back to it June 7th, and then just pulled back to it this morning before this push up at right before the open, 9 o'clock. That bar pushed up.
There's a
So
real
uh, I definitely think we have some support that to go up, but
mhm.
then we've also got some support at the top from June 8th, June 9th at about call it 900. So not that that's a, I mean it's a range, but it's a massive range. So that's my, I guess, quick and dirty this morning.
There. I just did a long, got filled on both contracts.
Not a boy. I haven't even taken a peek yet.
That was a solid 50 retracement with good divergence. It basically tapped the RSI on the 20. Well, it was a little higher on the pivot, but lots of
What'd
good
you use
volume.
that pivot from 845?
Yeah. Sorry, no, 855. I use the last. I'm finding if I'm using the last,
Oh, that one there.
yeah,
Okay.
for 50. But
Either
if you had a
either way, it was a good enough
pulled,
pullback.
yeah,
If
you
you
had a
used the other
38
pivot, it
on.
was 38, so it's all good. Nicely
And
done, buddy.
this is one I could have this is when I was looking at the extension, but I'm just working at getting comfortable with holding. But the 61 extension is right where it is right now. That would have been another,
Oh yeah, you're not even at your target yet.
you know,
Depending on where
that's a
I guess it depends on where you drew your pivot from.
it's a 15-point trade in
Oh yeah, you would.
and
Yeah, you're just at target right now from
yeah.
the what I had drawn. Nice. Did you have two different targets, or are you just running everything to one?
I'm running if I'm trading off this, yeah, if I'm trading a pivot off the 20, I target the 61 because that's usually a pretty good and if it's a 50, that's like a 15-point trade. And if I'm trading off the 10, if it's a smaller pivot off the 10, I'll go after the 100 depending on what price action is telling me.
Right.
Like if it look, but I'm finding even in that video I just suggested, he talked about strength of trend depending on wavelength. Like today, like just when I opened this up, first thing I saw is look at these nice strong wavelengths on the 20. This is a strong uptrend.
Right.
And he says when you start getting the short wavelengths, that's signaling potential reversal.
Okay.
Which makes sense because you got more
Sure it
if you're
does.
going up, you got more buyers coming in now, but sellers. Buyers are becoming exhausted, and you're gonna get these little, you're gonna get this chop. Man, that would have been nice to hold that one.
My gut tells me this is going to push up into that 900 range.
That's where I have resistance set at
Yeah.
yesterday. And there's a little bit on, I guess that's yesterday, yeah. Or the day before too.
Super overbought here on the 20.
Yeah.
Should get a pullback here. Yeah, I was still asleep at the wheel when you took your trade.
Well, I have my 50 on my 10, 50 EMA, but I'm not you. I'm using it, but I'm not using it for my entry
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to find a balance between too much confirmation and a little bit of anticipation. Because I'm finding when I start, I can start to feel the price action with a little bit of confluence with the RSI, and if I've got the 8 and the 20 set, I'll enter. And my entry on that was pretty solid.
Time did you get
Pretty
in?
solid entry. I got filled at the bottom of a wick bar at 893302.
Oh yeah,
And I entered
just
off
before
the
the
10.
open.
Yeah.
Nice.
No. Oh yeah, just before the that's the one concern I had,
It
but
was going through the open.
but I felt like it was going to go through.
Whew, I can't believe this is still pushing.
Man, that just blew right through the 100 too. There's 900 now. See what it does here.
Wow, I was right.
There's a guy on TradingView called Mazing. He posted. I follow him. I'm finding his hit rate's probably upwards. He swing trades, but his hit rate's up where probably 60-70% on on the ideas he posts. Go look at his latest idea. Like
What?
it basically just did exactly what he forecasted last night.
Hmm.
Like he even drew it out on his chart, and the price it followed it halfway. Then it sold off sooner than what he anticipated, but he anticipated after this sell-off that it would just push up like it has since that news at 8:30.
Hmm. We'll just push through both of these pivots.
Yeah, I'm targeting a 161 extension now at 40, around 40, 940. There's 138 there. Right now it just hit the 138.
Yeah, I got the top of that 2-day old pivot at 917 and the top of yesterday's market at 904, and it just blew through both of those.
That was a nice trade you took yesterday.
Yeah, thanks. It was weird trading alone. I haven't traded alone in like a month.
Yeah, I have to say it's helped me. Um, like the method obviously has helped, but I think trading together has kept me more consistent and accountable.
Yeah, I would agree. I never like trading with anyone, but it's been I don't know. I feel between the psychology stuff and um, the method. I don't know where to put the most credit on the mental work or on the method because I I don't know. I was talking about it last night in class. I just don't find myself in a lot of trades anymore, and I was always borderline an overtrader.
Hmm.
2, 3 trades every single day, no matter what, on the NAS.
And
Um,
now,
and
now
now
you've,
it's 0, 1, or 2, and I'm
yeah,
prepared to take five if
yeah.
five that are that good show up, but I just don't seem to. I'm just there isn't five that seem to be. I'm just becoming that picky, and I think we're getting super comfortable with the new charts, with the new strategy, and like I look back at some of the trades we were taking early May when we started with this, and I would take a trade before the EMAs were really all set up, and you'd get stopped out, or I wasn't really paying attention to the RSI back then, so I'd get stopped out, and it was because I was oversold or overextended, and I think for me, I'm just getting really starting to get really comfortable with these charts.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Yeah, I'm using the RSI more, and I feel like I'm reading price action better. Like even just to the right down to how the bar when the bar is forming. You get one or two bars formed. Like even that last trade, and I don't know if this is actually happening. It just feels like it is. Like I felt like, okay, we got a bull sandwich. Yeah, I just felt it's weird. Yeah, it's hard to explain the whole
I'm
what's doing
starting
it.
to trust. Yeah, I think it's starting to trust your gut feeling instead of having your gut feeling, you know, constantly screwing you. That's how I felt in the past. Was my gut was always working against me
Yeah.
because I'd enter trades when I didn't feel right, and then I second guess myself. And now it's just like, yeah, if my gut says no, then I just don't do it.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's a good conversation because the let me 10 off that last pivot. That must have been a 50. That was with 900. It pulled right back to 900. See,
I know right to the top of that, which is very tempting for me, but I have
a lot,
my gut
lot of
tells me,
yeah, a lot of divergence on the 20 though too. To
yeah,
the
and my gut
to
tells
pull
me this
back
is going
more.
to be an ABC.
Yeah,
But I won't be shocked if it goes up from here because it did.
yeah.
It broke that uh, second high and then pulled back to that last support, like almost to the tick. So if it does push up from here, then I won't be surprised. I like the RSI on the 10 a lot too.
Oh yeah, that was a nice pullback right there.
Yeah, right to the 50.
After one trade, I don't feel like doing anything now.
I was borderline tempted right there.
That was a good trade right there.
Yeah.
Pulled right back into the 50.
And that's where I feel like that's where I feel like I'll be flexible on my rules is if we pull back to support like that and we get the right pullback on the RSI, then I can ignore the fact that it wasn't a 38, a good pullback, you know what I mean?
I don't know where you're pulling from, but I pulled from a pivot, that last pivot. It didn't quite hit the 50 EMA on the 10, but it's a 50 retracement on that last pivot, and it pulls back to, you know, what used to be resistance. RSI crosses, then it pulls back and basically wicks right off the 50 RSI at 944.42. That was the trade right there.
What I'm trying to do with my pullbacks, I see which one you're talking about there. What I'm trying to do, even on my 10, for example, is, I assume you were talking about this one here.
Are you sharing?
No, I'm not.
No, yeah, where where it pulls back
You
and the
said at
pullback rips.
9:38 and then push up and pull back at 9:43. Why is my
Yeah, it
computer getting slow?
does a nice one too, and now it's pushed probably, I don't know, 100 points or 100 ticks, 10-point trade
Yeah.
in a couple minutes. Bounced off the 38, pulled back to former resistance, and then took off.
Yeah. Sorry, what I was gonna say was I'm finding on the 10, if I'm gonna work a pivot, I want it to break the 50 for it to count.
That's a good rule.
So that
Yeah.
pivot at 9:38, because it didn't break the 50, I'm not counting it. So then I got to go all the way back to that one where you took your trade at 9:32,
Yeah.
and that's not a 38.
Yeah.
However, where I'd be okay breaking that rule is the fact that we pulled back to support, and the way that that pulled back to the 50 EMA on the 10.
Right.
It was a good enough setup to relax, not break, but relax the rules of a 38, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well I'll send that YouTube link because he actually talks about the balance between anticipation and confirmation.
Okay.
He says
Cool.
he goes they both have pros and cons. Confirmation is you've got more confirmation that you're in a good push and you got a high probability of the trade working. However, you could be closer to the end. Anticipation
Right.
is you're anticipating that you're going
About
to
to
have
break
the
out.
confirmation. Yeah, it's about to break out. You get a nice tighter entry, so your trade finishes faster if it isn't a longer push.
Right.
So it's about a 50-50.
Right.
And I'm trying. I think it helped me when I got rid of my 5 and my 50 EMA and all my EMAs in the 20. It helped me. Okay, I'm trying to find my way through anticipation and confirmation in my style, but it still honors the method we're using.
Yep.
It's just
I see what you're saying.
it just fired right through the 161 now.
Okay, I'm using a different fib, and my 161 is at 955. I'm using the bigger one, so I'm curious to see what it does here. On the flip side, I'm finally prepared to work a pivot here because I can work the one at 943. Push up. We need to pull back here. Pull back to like 930 would be beautiful right now. The price of 930. I don't like when price and time is the same. But I should be aware of the fact that we're not getting deeper pullbacks this morning on this push, and it clearly needs to go somewhere. So whenever it gets to where it wants to go, I think it's going to stop and retrace fairly abruptly. Not a whole lot ahead of this market, though, is there?
No,
because what was the high back April 29th? 14 what? Like we're creeping up to 14,000 again. I wouldn't be surprised if we get over 14,000 today.
Yeah, I'm just marking the high on the day chart here. 1485. Or sorry, 1470. 14,070.
Yeah, I just found it on my minute chart. Right there, about 65 maybe.
Man, what a morning.
Yeah, I haven't traded my cash account in I don't know how long.
This will feel good.
Yeah. It's been dormant since I stopped trading the algo. And then I'll just run over to Lilu and I'm just going to take a I want to actually trade, but I'm going to trade the micros and take my same strategy and just apply it to the micros, so my risk is $20 instead of 200.
Yeah.
And I need to go count, but I think I need 3 more days.
Pushing 200,000.
If we pulled back to prior pivot, that would be a deep 50. That would be perfect. If we could pull back to that pivot at 922, price of 922. And then
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would
this
be.
would be like the wave 5 inside the wave 3 if you were looking at the Elliott wave.
Yeah, that's another thing on that video. Like he said, a high probability and price action. So you're right. So we got a bit of support now. Should have support potentially.
I think so.
At 922, and that'll also be a 50-61 retracement.
Yep.
So you got two sets of confluence there.
Yep. So you've got support at 917, 922, and then you've got support from your 50 and 61 fibs. Now I'm curious to see what it does here that we're at the 50 RSI on the 10. Is the 50 RSI going to be the support to push up?
Looks like it.
Yeah, I think she's gone.
That would be 40. I think pretty close to 40 ticks if you got in. And now the RSIs are starting to kink a lot. So this is where I'm finding when it's starting to do that, either volume or a reversal has come off, or a reversal is in, we're close to a major pullback. I wouldn't say we're going to reverse completely, but maybe pull back on the 20 to a fib.
Oh, what contracts are you on right now? 621?
Yeah, I left it. Don't we leave it till the end of the day?
Yeah. I checked. What I do is I checked the 9 this morning and it had 20% of the volume. I just go by whichever has the higher volume. So tomorrow morning I'll look at the 6 and the 9 and see which has better volume.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like this push is strong enough to get in. Well, I say that and then it's going to squirt up 30 ticks here.
Yeah, you would have got, if I'd entered on.
I really like the bar at 954.24, but I just thought it was going to be real weak the way that it was trying there, but there's target right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw that too, the double bottom on the RSI on the 10?
Yeah, there's 39 ticks right there.
I'm starting to trust that more and more.
Boy, that RSI is sweet, you bet. Yeah, that was a good trade right there. I just felt like it might be real bumpy all the way up, and I just don't like being in those trades. I'd rather just wait for one that's going to zip right up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the way that it looked at 953. And then we got them kind of that triple top look there on, oh, you don't have a 5. And then it pulled back and I was like, this might be really slow again.
I can see what you're looking at on the 5. The 10 yeah.
Where are we at here? 9:55. I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
I'm going to go get my medicine for my daughter.
Oh,
so
right.
I'll try and make it back here.
Sure.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good. Nice drop there. $61. Although my gut tells me this is going to go much lower. My gut tells me we're going to get some sort of ABC down to here. Somewhere in here. This was the extension. Oops. Too overextended now. Need a bigger pullback if we are to look to trade this. This is the 161 extension from the huge push. Which, I don't really look at waves anymore, but if I did, this was the beginning of wave 3 here, and this whole thing was wave 3 to here. And if that is the case, I'm going to draw this on the 20 so you're not going to see this. But I would expect the price to drop even lower than I showed before. Like somewhere in that area. This is going to be a potential target area. For me, I think, but I really don't look at the waves a lot. I don't think I'd even get really a chance to short this thing with my strategy. Maybe, but it would be near the end of it. Just the way the 20 looks, it wouldn't set up properly. But boy, oh boy, do I like this look. And my eyeball seems to really like the short trades, although that was a 76% pullback. We got support here, so it'd be a good place to pull back to. If it's gonna go up from here, we're at 76. That was 76. This was a 76. This was a 76. The idea with Fibonacci's is to break a 76, you need a 61. And then it would go to the 161. That's not quite a 61, but it might be enough. And if that was the case, I don't necessarily believe all those fib rules. I use my fibs just to really measure a pullback. And the extension for me has always been that 61.76. Yeah. 161 doesn't even get you to here. Oh, I'd love to be short right now. Just doesn't fit my overall strategy. My 20 chart is just not ready for a short trade based on a fairly strict set of rules that I have, but I'd almost be filled out on this already. Even better with a potential pullback here. Potential support happening here. think it'll break that support right now. Yeah. Beauty. Now we're into a 38. 50 EMA is at 36, right about here on the 20. Man, I would have loved to have been short there. If this pulls back to support here, I might look for a short trade. My 20 is just about ready. So that would be a 38. If we can get a pull back into here. Interesting. Still think it's got to come back to this area here. I'm short a 30 tick target. Stop is now at +1.
Target filled.
And target filled 30 ticks. So my trade target, so I'm back on my cash account today with my Lilu evaluation ending. So it takes about 2 to 4 days before I'll be funded. Anyways, I only have a few thousand in my cash account because I haven't been using it for so long. Anyways, so I just traded one contract because of I like a 2% rule in my account. So if I'm risking $100 on for example, my stop is 20 ticks, so that's $100. I think I had 3,600 in my account divided by 3,600. That's 2.7% risk. I don't like to risk more than 3%. I don't really like to risk more than 2% on a trade. So I went to one contract, and my one contract target is I really like the 30 tick contract or target. If I had two, however, my second contract would be here, and my stop would currently be at +1. So I'm just gonna see how this plays out and see if I would have got stopped on contract two. So even with two contracts, yeah, I would only made $5 on the second contract. So this trade was with relaxed rules, I'm gonna call it, because my 20 was not 100% set up. It was close, and I said if this pulled back to support, I would look for the short trade. I'm happy with the trade. I also liked it back here, but and then the one that Warren took earlier was beauty. It never really set up on my charts. We just have slightly different rules, I guess. Like we came up with this strategy and then we, made some slight adjustments. I'm wondering now if this is going to be the ABC down to 4, or that, I mean, it doesn't have to go to there. Is that even a 23 yet? Not even a 23 yet. Well, yeah, it would have been a 23. So I still think it needs to come down to this area, but not necessarily. Measure that out. See what my account says. Yeah, full 30. Just $150 trade there. It's one contract. My account says Biltmore here. I have two numbered companies that I used to trade with. Well, one numbered company, two accounts, and then I still have a personal account, but I kind of have the majority of my money sitting in the account I traded today. I just know from the last shit show, people don't trust you if you don't show your cash account, so there you go. So I'm still wondering if we aren't gonna get 100% ABC, and this was maybe just ABC of an A, B, C. I'm getting real technical now, but I'm wondering if that's the small a, small b, small c. Oh, sorry, whoops. And that C makes a larger A. And then we'll get a larger B. And then we'll get a larger C down into this target zone. Something like that, maybe. I liked how this come back close to the 50. And on the 5 it did essentially on this dual bar come back. I wanted to take the trade right here, but I needed to get a pullback being down already into the 40 zone. This might set up for another trade here. And with that said, though, one of my rules, working on the psychology part of this game, is that I don't trade for more than 25 minutes straight. And another one of my rules is that I don't, that I take breaks after each trade. So I am going to just pause this video. I won't end it. I'm just going to pause it and I'm going to come back in 5 minutes. And what time is it? It's 10:30. I'm probably done for the day. Chances are this trade's going to set up. Well, we better just hang out for a minute. Looking for green, yellow, red in order to the downside. So just about right there. Now, because it's extended on the 5, I need a pullback on my 5 here. RSI is extended. Trade target's going to be just above 920. Beauty. Love that. Not even mad that I'm not in. Love that. Could come all the way to the 100 here. Hits the 61. Pulls off. RSI still not back to the 50. I would need this thing to come all the way back to the 50 or very close to it if I was going to look at the trade. I really wanted right in here, right when all these EMAs crossed and come apart nicely. That's where I was looking for the pullback on the 5. And now you don't need the pullback to take the trade, but I find that if you don't, you need a bigger stop. Like I would want my stop way up here, and I'm just not prepared to risk that kind of money when I trade, so I just wait for a little cleaner setup. Because sometimes this will just zip right down like it did. Other times it'll cause a pullback. With a 20 tick stop, it can, it can pull back and take you out. I don't need that anymore. That 100 was down here. This was be my 61.76 that I like. 20s are round number. Okay, well, I'll leave this going so we can see what happens, but I'm going to take a 5. I'm back. Pretty boring. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I still think we're gonna drop a little further, and then I mean, I think we're gonna go back up. I don't know for certain, but I think we're gonna go back up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope it was entertaining and or helpful. And I shall be back tomorrow.